All right, with that, we'll officially call the meeting in order. Has the meeting been properly posted and rolled and taken?
Yes.
Thank you. Item number 2 is Pledge of Allegiance, and will remain standing for a prayer by Alderman Wilson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Supreme Architect of the universe, in thy name we have assembled, in thy name we have gathered. Grant that the sublime principles of public service may so subdue every discord and passion within us. Harmonize and enrich our hearts with thy own love and goodness, and may your beauty reign forever before the throne. Amen.
Item number 3 are approval of the minutes from both April 19th and April 26th. Meetings. If there's no additions or corrections, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 4, communications. I've got a couple of communications this evening. I wanted to start with all of you should have received correspondence. If you haven't yet, it's in your mailbox. I know Alderman Michael Plazak had reached out yesterday and let the clerk and myself and the city administrator know that unfortunately he regrets that he has to step down from the city council effective immediately as of yesterday's date due to some personal caregiving for his parents that he does, and also a new job that he started that has changed his hours of availability. So certainly thank him for his service during the time on the city council and wish him well as he focuses on some of his family and work responsibilities. So how we'll handle that, if there's no objections, are how we've handled it a number of different times through mine and Alderwoman Deshner Brandt's history on the council is open it up to those that live and reside in the first aldermanic district who have an interest in serving, and to reach out to anyone on the council, to reach out to our city administrator, our city clerk, and with like a letter, kind of an application. I think we have in the past, we've had some questions that the council has asked of candidates when we've been in this situation before. So maybe direct those to the city clerk, and the city clerk can share them with the council. And again, if there's no objections, assuming we've got people that are willing to serve, we can consider that potential appointment at next month's council meeting. So, with that, also under communications, I wanted to, as we've often done, highlight positive things that are taking place in our community. And we've got a few very dedicated volunteers that have been working very hard over the last year on cemetery Spring Grove headstone restoration project. So and a few of them are in attendance, so I definitely I hate to put Wayne on the spot, but Wayne, you're welcome to come up to the podium if you kind of want to explain a little bit about the wonderful project that's been going on. Again, I hate to put you on the spot. If you don't want to come up, I can certainly give some information, and I definitely want to acknowledge some of the volunteers that we have.
You want me to talk to the,
If you want to come up to the podium up here, then
you guys?
you can come up here and just kind of explain a little bit about the great work that you and many volunteers have been doing the last year.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, it started about a year and a half or 2 years ago, and we were always walking in the cemetery, and my wife, we walked the dog, and my wife says, "Why are all these headstones laying on the ground?" I said, "Well, the people that put them up 100 years ago, they're either moved out or they pass away and nobody takes care of the headstones. And I worked for Dan Kilkenny, and I said, Dan, I said, are you gonna spend some money restoring these headstones? He says, not a dime. He refused. And so that kind of started the ball rolling. And Dennis, what was his last?
Dennis Markley.
Yeah, Dennis Markley and I started the ball rolling, got a hold of the mayor, and Dan said, we don't mind you restoring the headstones if you sign a waiver of liability. He didn't want to be liable to somebody getting hurt. So that's how it all started. We had the meeting last year. I don't know.
Early May, yeah.
Was it early May? And then we worked all year on it, sometimes one day a week, 2 days a week. And we manually picked the headstones up. And we've done over 100 to 120 headstones. Some of them are on the ground, some of them are just leaning over. So the ones that are leaning over, we would pry them up and then shore them up with concrete or whatever we had on hand. And so that's basically what we done all year last year. Now we're gonna get a cherry picker. If you don't know, it picks up engines out of cars. We're gonna get one. Mark is gonna get one, got it on order, and we're gonna get something safer so nobody get hurt. Nobody got hurt, luckily, but those headstones are very heavy. But now this year, we're gonna get that, we're gonna pick them up hydraulically and shore them up that way. So that's basically all. We probably got another 150, maybe 200, I don't know. Some of them we can do 10 a day, or sometimes we just get 2 a day done. Depends on how bad they are. So basically, that's it.
Thanks, Wayne.
And I appreciate alderman or administrator or city attorney, if they want to volunteer, I'll put them to work. 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. We're not gonna wear you out.
Thanks, Wayne, for explaining that. And again,
Okay.
I think up to this point, we've done about 150 headstones roughly.
We kind of lost track.
Yeah, it's been quite a few, and again, thanks to you, Wayne. So
Some of them been laying on the ground for 100 years.
right, and then some of it unfortunately was more recent vandalism that
Yeah,
kind of was addressed a little bit, but still definitely through this project, a lot of that has been, and as you pointed out, still more work to be done. And
let's hope it gets done this year.
that's right. In addition to Wayne and Dennis Markley, kind of getting everyone organized with this, and again, thank you to those two. There's again some very dedicated volunteers both here this evening. I want to recognize Mark Hansen, Rick Hunt, Steve, and his wife Jennifer Stern. So, and then in addition to that, we've had Larry Neuenheis and Beth Walsh, Joanne Bitter, and our Lee Edwards, and our very own Mark Wendorf has been very instrumental with all the work out there on those Saturdays. And we've also had Alderwoman Carrie Deshner Brandt, who helped out a year ago with painting and flowers and weeding, and Alderman Wilson, who also joined us with some of the work on the headstones. And so again, I think no one does this for special recognition, but I think it's so important to highlight the work that's been done and will continue to be done. So as Wayne said, if there's others that want to join us, we're up in the cemetery.
Don't
whatever
forget to
Saturday
mention
morning.
your name.
What's that?
Don't forget to mention your name. You did a lot of work out there.
Well, it's a team effort, and then I also want to give recognition to the Comet Brew Crew, who were out there actually under the direction of Rodney Edler and Corinne Sanders, one of the teachers. There was a number of students that were out there actually today weeding and planting flowers in the cemetery in preparation for Memorial Day program, which is another communication. I was asked by the American Legion to announce that the council is invited to participate in Memorial Day parade as we've done in the past, and the program itself. So if we can try to coordinate something for those that are in town, I know the American Legion would appreciate that as well. So I think that's a lot of communications. I think that's it. And thank you again for the work that's been done on this cemetery project. So maybe we can give them all a big round of applause. With that, we'll move on to item number 5, under public comments. Citizens may address the chair at this point of the meeting. Just please limit your comments to items that are on the agenda for tonight and no more than 3 minutes. So I don't know if we have any additional public comments that will be made at this time. Seeing and hearing none, we'll move on to item number 6, which is reports of committees, boards, commissions, and the Delavan Area School District. Item 6.1 is the Finance Committee and Financial Report. Alderman Destrehan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Finance Committee met on May, I put just May, so I'm not really sure what the date was that we met, but it was at 5 o'clock. Our next meeting's on June 14th at 5. So there's a couple of items on tonight's agenda. The minutes of the meeting are in file with the city clerk for public inspection. And at this time, I would make a motion to approve the financial report.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 6.2 is general operations. Alderman Wilson.
Thank you, Mayor. General Operations met on Tuesday, May 3rd. Calvin Square, a member of our General Operations Committee, requested that we postpone a Juneteenth event until 2023. Calvin lost a 32-year-old son last month, and I would ask that everybody keep Calvin and his family in their prayers. Our police chief touched a bit on training of the new 2 police officers that were hired. And he elaborated on the registration function and limitations of the police department's new high-tech drone. This is an unbelievable and beneficial tool that will enhance Delavan's public safety. The building and zoning report was impressive, issuing 6 new permits for single-family homes, bringing the total to 8 this year. The city administrator's report noted that the environmental review for the library project was in the works, and the remainder of the topics that were covered will be coming up in tonight's meeting under business. Thank you. The next general operations meeting will be June 7th at 5:30 in council chambers.
Thank you, Alderman Wilson. Item 6.3 is the Planning Commission. Alderman Eason.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The planning commission met on May 2nd. There are items from that meeting on tonight's agenda. And the next meeting is scheduled for Monday, June 6th at 5 p.m. The minutes from the meeting are on file with the city clerk as always for public inspection.
Thank you, Alderman Eason. Item 6.4 is Public Works. Alderwoman Destrehan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Public Works met on April 26th at 5:30. There's some items that were covered that will be discussed tonight under the Finance Committee, and our next meeting is May 24th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Destrehan. Item 6.5 is the Town of Delavan Lake Committee. Alderman Eason.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The town of Delavan Lake Committee met on May 4th. Regarding the agenda, I have prior commitment. Next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, June 1st at 7 p.m. at the town board.
Thank you, Alderman Beazer. Item 6.6 is the Library Board of Trustees. Alderwoman Destrehan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We met on April 28th at 5:30. Updates were given on donations for the new library build, and our next meeting is May 19th at 5:30.
Thank you, Alderwoman Deshra Bryant. Item 6.7 is Parks and Recreation Commission, Alderman Purcell.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The activity summer guide is out. It's online. You can look through it. There's a lot of stuff going on for the summer. Our next meeting is the end of the month. I don't know what date it is, but it's gonna be towards the end of the month. A lot of people are worried about, and questioning about the dog park. Don't know what's going on with that, but when I get into that meeting, we're gonna put it at the end. We're gonna find out what's going on. If we're not gonna move forward with it, we're gonna table it. I don't know why we can't get a dog park in the city of Delavan. But we can vote for a politician and a president, but we can't get a dog park. So we're gonna work on that and see what's going on with that, because that's kind of aggravating me to the point where we need to do something. It's been 15 years. I don't know what's going on with that. So we're gonna work on that. So that's about it. So if anyone wants to figure out on the email, I think it's the 25th or something of this month,
23rd,
23rd. So if you want to be there, 5 o'clock,
5:30.
5:30. So if you want to be there at 5:30 and voice your opinion on what's going on with the dog park, that's the biggest issue right now. And we'll go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Purcell. Item 6.8 is Communications Commission, Alderman Solis. We normally do that update, but I know that he's not with us unfortunately this evening. They did not meet since the last city council meeting, and I'm not sure when their next meeting, Brian.
There isn't a date, that's not on here.
Yeah, it's not on there, so, but certainly, those meetings too are open to the public as all of our other boards and commissions, so we welcome your participation at the Communications Commission level. With that, we'll move on to item 6.9, the Delavan Downtown Project Management Team, Alderwoman Deshra Bryant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Downtown Project Management Team met on April 26th at 7. We discussed some of our future events as well as preparations for the wine walk, which I heard was sold out, so that's fantastic. That's happening on Saturday. Our next meeting is May 24th at 7.
Thank you, Alderwoman Deshra Bryant. Item 6.10 is the Delbrook Golf Commission, Alderman Purcell.
Thank you, Mayor Ryan. Delbert is getting back up there. April was bad. Rain, no golfers, but we're back on track. Hopefully everything will be good. Got a lot of, leagues coming up, a lot of stuff going to the pavilion. So we're hoping to have a good year again. That's pretty much what I have with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Purcell. Item 6.11 is the Tourism Commission. Again, this would normally be Alderman Solis's update. Brian, I don't know if you met since our last, I don't know if you had an update. I don't know if you meet since our last.
The minutes are here. The last meeting was on Wednesday, April 27th, 2022. They made an appointment with Visit Delavan now moving into the chamber. They did make an appointment to the chamber board from the Tourism Commission. That was Lori Woodkey was nominated and approved to go to the chamber board on behalf of the Tourism Commission. We got to talk a little bit about the marketing plan for the 125th anniversary celebration and get a review of the marketing report and dashboard from the Visit Delavan. Most of the transition from Warwick County Business Bureau is about completed. It's just at the time, it was just a matter of getting some records and the final balance from them so far as the accounts were concerned. And that should have all been transferred to Visit Delavan or the chamber by this point. The next meeting will be Wednesday, May 25th at 8:30 a.m. And that is it.
Thank you, Brian. Appreciate that. Moving on to item 6.12 is the Delavan Darien School District update. Dr. Jill Sorby.
Good evening, everyone. So the first things first is, I thought I'd talk a little bit about DD Tech. Did you get the flyer? Okay, I'll get you one.
I got one.
Okay, good. I'll bring some to you. So DD Tech is our new charter school that will be starting here this fall. It is for our students to get into more of the skilled labor and trades. And so I want to share a little bit about how things are going with that. Our rollout meetings for students in grades 9 through 12 are happening here in early June. Our students rollout for students in 8th grade along with their parents is happening here in May. So those will be posted on our Facebook page and all the rest of it. Since these mailers went out the end of April, we have had 2 to 3 new business industry partners contact the school per week. We have a growing advisory panel of communities or local businesses, not just within the Delavan, Darien area, but within Walworth County and even Rock County now that are reaching out and saying, wow, we need your support, we need your help because we are starving for workers in these industries. And so they are excited for our charter school. They're excited to get students in their doors to support their growing industry or their industry. So exciting work is being done to have our students excel in these pathways. In addition to that, the staff are continuing to work on their 4-year pathway maps and what students must take for each particular strand. So when you're looking at all the different jobs that are out there, so there's 12 different strands of it on the left-hand side of this flyer, and on the right-hand side of this flyer is all the different career fields that they can enter into with these 12 strands in the DD Tech program. And so all of these are supported within advisory panels and a pathway that clearly says, if you are going to enter this field, these are the courses you must take. And they're not just Delavan, Darien school courses. There are a lot of them are gateway partnered courses. So the students earn their stackable credentials and some of their work towards a certificate and even up to an associate's degree. So it's kind of exciting work that students can earn all of these things before they even finish high school. We have all these students will be that would be part of this program, would be part of an youth apprenticeship their senior year. So that's exciting for them to be out in the job force. Like I shared, they're starving in the industry. We will start with our pathway advisory meetings starting next week. So exciting things. Monday, I think there's a hospitality meeting, and Tuesday there's 4 or 5 other industry meetings where all of those business partners in the area are getting together to talk about what are their needs, how do we fulfill the educational pathway and offering the right materials to our students that are wanting to go into those pathways. So I'll get you one of these flyers if you didn't have one yet. So that's exciting stuff. On top of that, other business that's happening. Our summer programs, students have enrolled in those, and we have more swimmers than ever, which is lovely to hear that kids and parents want their students, their children to learn how to swim. So that's happening here. It starts the 13th, June 13th, the day Friday gets into school, Monday starts summer programs. We have many concerts coming up. Tonight there's one at Phoenix, there's one on Thursday at Phoenix. There's lots of concerts coming up. One act plays are this weekend, so come on over to the high school and see those. The last of spring season sports is happening. I know there's a soccer game happening on our new turf field, so that's lovely. And speaking of the facilities project, we'll be finishing that this summer. So some of the work that still needs to be done is they've been doing a little bit more grass seeding and a little bit more landscaping work this week since we've gotten a little bit better weather. And then they have the large round circle in the pavilion that they'll be painting with our logo. There's a few other odds and ends to be done with the project. There's some work going to be done on the tennis courts again, because there's some concerns there that popped up that we're aware of and we're working with them on. So lots of great things. The school district looks forward to partnering our continued partnership with the city. So thank you, Mayor, for sending out that opportunity for our students to be participants in the creation of the video. I did hear from John today, as I think you did as well. He CC'd you. And so I guided him to Mr. Caritas. I did talk with Mrs. Vogt, the teacher, the visual arts teacher, yesterday, I believe it was. And she says, oh no, I've got 2 or 3 students that I know exactly that would be interested. So they will make that connection. So that will help you guys to create that video. It's lovely. And I did have a meeting with Mark last week regarding the dog park. So, you know, we're continuing to look at opportunities and ways for the school district to partner with the city. And we always appreciate that. Looking forward to the new water tower being painted. Mark said that is being done here.
It's on the agenda.
It's on the
tonight.
agenda, so I look forward to that and, you know, sitting there in the stands and looking at all of the beauty that now the community has put forth the effort and money to make the campus beautiful. So, yes, my friend.
Graduation.
Yes, I forgot that one. Graduation is Sunday, June 5th.
June 5th.
And it's at 1 o'clock. It will be outdoors, weather permitting, so unlimited seating. It will be in our new stadium. Yeah, 1 o'clock.
The lunch, where's that gonna be?
That I don't know, Tommy. That part I don't know. Do you know? Fran?
Where the lunch.
Lunch, where the,
The
There's
senior picnic.
senior
Oh,
senior
it's
picnic?
usually at Darien Park.
okay, but is that Friday?
On the second.
I don't,
Thursday, yeah,
we gotta, I know me, Ryan and Dawn had to be there for that,
okay,
but I don't know what day that is.
It's the Thursday, June 2nd.
June 2nd?
yeah, and I don't know the details on that one. Perhaps Mrs. Brandt can get that for you.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be there?
I can be there on that day.
Oh, you will be, you need to come.
Yeah, Friday, I have my nephew graduating from high school himself in Minnesota, so I have to go there quickly for a couple days and then come back to see our own graduation. Busy weekend for me myself,
All right.
okay?
Thank you for the update. I would like to add one more thing on the efforts of working together. We wrapped up Mayor for a Day program.
Oh, yeah.
The second year, the school year, and you're a big effort in helping to make that happen, along with administrators and teachers at the high school. So I greatly appreciate that. And again, our staff has been very instrumental, and it's just been a tremendous program and learning experience for our youth. And we'll look to start that back up in the fall. But again, it's all about working together, and the school district is a big part of that
Well,
success.
thank you, Mayor, for really inviting the students in to be participants in that. You know, I talked with Mr. Alter today, our history teacher at the high school, and, you know, he said that he's proud that our students participate in that. He's proud that the city offers that to our students. So thank you.
Yeah, Thank you.
Yeah, these are-
A couple of questions.
absolutely.
The DE Tech Charter School, is that going to be housed in a different structure?
Nope, it's a school within a school. Good question. So really, the costs are not really more. In fact, it's going to be probably a net positive in the end, because we'll start to see open enrollment in for the program, right? Because we'll be doing something different than many of our local schools in the area don't do. Like Williams Bay does not have a CTE program whatsoever. Bigfoot doesn't really have a strong CTE program. And then Clinton's is really struggling as well. And again, our goal is to really offer something that is unique, but also really makes a difference for our local industries. They're really struggling. And so how do we meet their needs by training our kids and getting them the stackable credentials and the credentials to enter the workforce pretty quickly after high school, right?
Really excited to hear what that's going.
Mhm,
That's moving
Yeah.
forward. Partnerships with the city.
mhm.
Can we ask for some partnerships in the soapbox derby? Maybe getting the students or the tech involved in that process?
I would love to research more into that. Can you send me some information? I think my CTE program for sure at the high school, but I also have a project lead the way teacher at the middle school that may be interested in that, and perhaps getting the students as a club to do that. You know, I know we have our construction club, And so, maybe Mr. Duval, who's in charge of the construction classes, and a lot of those would be interested in having the kids do that in a club. Yeah, so send me some information on that. I would love that. That would be a fun. I know my father lives in northern Wisconsin, and one of the cities there has a big hill that they do derby races on also. So it's really popular in the community.
Well, as I understand it, we've been trying to get that thing going for the last couple of years, so that would be fantastic.
I think the kids would love it. Middle school kids love that stuff. So, yeah. Perfect.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Anything else? Who needs one?
Thanks.
Anyone else want one? I brought in some extras.
I got one. I checked my papers.
Thank you.
Anyone in the audience want one?
All right, with that, we'll move on to item number 7, issues that came before the planning commission. 7.1 is consider a conditional use petition to allow for an indoor commercial entertainment land use for an indoor fitness center at 203 Richmond Road, located in the office neighborhood or end zone district. Applicant Sylvia Zerg. Thank you, planning commission.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed resolution and the conditional use findings listed in the report under recommended conditional use findings and issuance of a limited conditional use permit to the applicant Sylvia Zerg to allow for an indoor commercial entertainment land use for an indoor fitness center at 203 Richmond Road, located in the office neighborhood zoning district, subject to the recommended conditions of approval listed in the report under recommended conditions of approval as specifically outlined under the conditions of approval.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 7.2 is consider a conditional use petition to allow for a group development, multi-tenant industrial land use at 136, 132, and 130 Hallberg Street in the manufacturing general MG zoning district. Applicant Cat Flats for GCP Properties LLC.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed resolution, subject to the following. 1, the following conditions use findings listed in the report, and the conditional use request for the proposed group development to allow for 3 principal buildings to be constructed on a single parcel. Applicant Pat Watts, subject to the following conditions of approval listed in the report. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Did you do a second?
Yeah. So there's been a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 8, issues that came before the finance committee. 8.1 is consider the purchase of a SCBA air compressor from Jefferson Fire and Safety at a cost of $21,194.
This came in front of finance. The current air compressor does not meet standards. So I would make a motion to approve the purchase of an SCBA air compressor fill station from Jefferson Fire and Safety at a cost of $21,194. And that said purchase be made through the capital improvement fund.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Percent.
Yes.
Alderman Dashner Grant.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.2 is consider award of the contract for the 2022 Autumn Drive Tower reconditioned to Stephen Brothers Painting out of Shelby, Michigan at an amount of $567,150.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to award the contract for the reconditioning Autumn Drive Tower to Stephen Brothers Painting out of Shelby, Michigan, at a cost not to exceed the amount of $567,150.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second, any further discussion?
Oh, hey, hang on a minute. What is this now?
The new tower,
On the west side?
the water tower,
Okay,
they're painting it.
all right.
And then just the additional further discussion would be again, as was pointed out in the update, that this is thanks to the school district's collaborative effort to, I think they're picking up 8,000 of the funding for the actual logo of Delavan and comments on it. So it'll be a nice addition to the water tower as you enter in from the west side of the city. So with that, is there any other further discussion?
All right.
Do they sandblast the whole thing? They tear it down at bare metal or what?
Well, for that amount of money, they better be doing
So this
something.
is a full blast outside and it's interior sandblast, so we'll go down to bare metal and it'll be repainted from there.
Primer and epoxy,
Correct.
and then that'll be good for 20 years or something.
It'll 20 to 25 years. is the lifespan.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, may we have a roll call?
Alderwoman Deschner Grant.
Yes.
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Alderman Purcell.
Yes.
Motion passes. Item 8.3, approval of the bills, warrant 2022-04.
I make a motion to approve warrant 2022-04.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 9, issues that came before the General Operations Commission, Committee. 9.1 is consider approval of fire department structure burn at Lake Lawn Resort.
This came before general operations. Tim is here. If you have any questions, right now I'll move to approve the practice burn at Lake Lawn Resort on June 6th and 13th, and an alternate date on June 20th, 2022.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? And again, Chief, I don't know if you have anything that you want to add to it. I know we all got a memo a little bit more in details, but you're welcome if you want to share for those watching at home and your attendance.
Tim O'Neill, Fire Chief. Certainly, it's hard to replace a live training. We did have a training session last night on different hose evolutions and things, but the opportunities are few and far between for actual fire condition training. We're going to be using instructors from Gateway Technical Institute that we have on staff, as well as some other guest instructors from the area. So the building itself is pretty small, but we can still get some educational value out of it and meet the NFPA standards at the same time. So
Thanks, Chief.
I did promise the committee that Lakeland would not put any additional wood in the structure. There was some question about our new burning ordinance, and we'll make sure that they're in compliance with the new burning ordinance.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. All right, we've got a motion and a second. There's no further discussion. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 9.2 is consider amending ordinance allowing for the keeping of chickens in the city.
This came before GOC as well. There's 4 families, I think, in the city that have chickens, and they wanted to increase the amount to 8. And we have no complaints. If there's citizens that complain about it, we're gonna relook at this. But right now, I'll move to approve the proposed amended ordinance that would allow the keeping of 8 chickens within the city.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I got one question. I got a rooster in my backyard, not my backyard, behind me, and it goes off at 4 in the morning. So we're not supposed to have roosters, right?
Correct. That's correct.
What do we do about that? Well, they're not supposed to have roosters at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
All right, well, we'll figure that out later. Here's a motion and a second, any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 10, other business is 10.1 is consider expansion of the licensed premise description to allow for alcohol sales and consumption in conjunction with the street privilege permits granted to the treasury.
This also came before GOC. Right now, I'll move to approve an updated premise description of the liquor license for the treasury.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 11 is consider mayor's appointments to committees, boards, and commissions. Item 11.1 is public works committee. The citizen representative succeeding Kevin Armstrong is Corey Kunai. I would entertain a motion to approve that
I'll
nomination.
make the motion, we approve Corey for citizen representative.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 11.2, our downtown project management team appointments. We've got a series of these. Actually, there's one additional one, which would be a resident member succeeding Celine Henry is Eric Forrestal. Downtown business owner alternate is Kim Martin. Financial institution member would be Bessity Cano. Friends of the Phoenix Park Band Shell member, voting member would be Lori Wetke. Friends of the Phoenix Park Band Shell alternate would be Chelsea Beal. The Historical Society alternate would be myself. With that, I would entertain a motion to approve those nominations.
I'll make a motion, we approve all those nominations.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 11.3 are appointments to the Joint Extraterritorial Zoning Committee. I have 3 vacant positions, and so I would, this is met in the past, and I know it's been a little while since we've actually had a meeting, and so I've appointed myself, Kevin Armstrong, and Grant Aiken. And so I would entertain a motion to approve those nominations.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just a quick question.
Yes.
What does that committee do?
Mark, do you want to? Got put you on the spot. It's been, you're probably definitely around when the last time they actually had a meeting.
Which one are we on?
This is the extraterritorial zoning committee. It's
Okay.
been a while since there's been.
Extraterritorial zoning would be in combination with the proposed intergovernmental agreement with the town of Delavan. If there is a joint extraterritorial board set up, that is the board that would review the zoning changes or requests. Like the city's plan commission is typically made up of 3 members from the city and 3 members from the township.
It's a good explanation. Overlap area between the joining municipalities where zoning issues or concerns come about.
Any further questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item 11.4, our Board of Appeals. There's 2 vacant positions and 1 alternate, and I have had some inquiries. No one has yet confirmed their definite interest, so I would definitely entertain if there's people in the community who wish to serve. This is a great opportunity to kind of get involved. It doesn't it doesn't have some of the same commitments that some of the monthly meetings have, but it's certainly a very important committee, so it's a great way to, again, try to get more actively involved in your community. So if there's any interest, please let me know personally, or city administrator, or anyone on the city council, the city clerk, and certainly pass that along to me. So we'll give it another month and have it on the agenda for next month. With that, item 11.5 is the Development Review Committee. I have a vacant position there, and according to our ordinances, it should definitely, the appointee should have kind of a design professional background, architectural experience. And so again, putting that out there, that if there's someone that maybe fits that type of background and has an interest in serving on the Development Review Committee, I would welcome your interest. And again, let our city administrator, or city clerk, or anyone on the city council, or myself directly know, and we'll have that on the agenda again for next month. With that, we'll move on to item number 12, which are public comments. Again, citizens at this point can address the meeting on any other issue. I would just ask that you limit it to 2 minutes. If not, we'll move on to item 13, which are suggested future agenda items. Future agenda items at this time. If not, again, always welcome anyone on the council reaching out and letting myself and the city clerk or city administrator know. We can certainly add that on for a future agenda item. With that, we'll move on to item number 14, which is recess to closed session. 14.1 under pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 19.85, parent 1, parent C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of a public employee for which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility regarding the finance director position. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
I'll make a motion that we recess into closed session.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? If not, may we have a roll call?
Alderman Wilson.
Yes.
Alderman Beezer.
Yes.
Alderman Purcell.
Yes.
Alderwoman Deschler Brandt.
Yes.
We'll take a 5-minute recess and